Hi, this is John Snyder from Stauffers of Kissel Home and Garden Stores here in central Pennsylvania. And if you're anything like me and you have a garden and you have some containers around that need to be watered frequently, I have found the easiest solution to this is the DIG drip irrigation system. Today I want to show you how easy it is to set up. And what you'll be able to do is gain back some of that time that you're going to have to spend behind a hose or behind a watering can watering all your plants. Now I have a small assembly of some of the products that come with the DIG irrigation system here. We're not going to be using all of this here today, but I just wanted to show you the broad line that you can do with this and the adaptability of the system. You can really tailor it to your needs. The benefit of this system is you're going to save, one, I already mentioned it, a lot of time, and two, it actually uses about 50% less water than you would if you're doing your standard watering with a watering can or a hose. And it's going to get that water deeper down around the root structure by a slow drip percolating down into the soil. That promotes healthier root growth, healthier plants. If it's in your garden, a healthier harvest and a more bountiful harvest. So let's get set up out front and I'll show you how this system works. So here we are on my front porch. Now, this is the goal for today. I've got 3 containers just like this on my front porch that I want to get irrigation on so that I know that they're getting water when they need it, especially while I'm not here. So let's get to work and I'll show you how that gets set up. For the purpose of this video, I've got to use a hose for our water source because my water line isn't working out here right now. But we can still teach you everything you need to know about how this gets set up. Just imagine that this is your faucet coming out of your wall at your house. So we're going to start with that. First step is going to be to add your timer, okay? And that's very simple. That is just going to thread right on to the end of your hose. Next, we're going to put a backflow preventer onto the bottom end of your timer. That's going to make sure that no water is going back through the system this way. You want everything going that way. After the backflow preventer is a pressure regulator, and that is going to hold the water pressure in our line at 25 psi. That's going to be the ideal for our drippers. And the next piece that I have on there is just the connector that goes onto the 1/2-inch line, and I'll show you how easy that is. It's just a compression fitting that the line is going to slide right in. So we've got our timer ready to go and it's time to start adding our feed line. That is the 1/2-inch larger of the tubes, and I've cut a piece that's going to get us from here down to about ground level where I want to get, and we're going to be running that direction towards my 3 pots on the front porch. I always find it a little easier. We're going to need a 90-degree elbow when we get to this point right here. I find it easier to put that on before putting this one on so you have a little bit more leverage to put these in, but it isn't hard. It's got a compression fitting, so you're just going to twist that right inside, spin it a couple times, and if you pull and it doesn't come out, you got it. Now we can go ahead and attach that onto this line, and we're all set to run our line up to the pots. Definitely want to use some spikes to hold down your line for you. Alright, so we've made it up to the top of the porch with our feed line. Now we need to cap this off because we're going to be adding our smaller line that is going to feed our containers at this point. So we're going to use this piece right here, which slides over the pipe. You fold the pipe back and then slide it back on the other end. That pinches the hose and creates a seal so it doesn't leak. Now we need to connect our smaller feed line for the pots to our larger feed line that's coming from the source. What we have is a barbed connector here, and we need to punch a hole in this pipe with the DIG irrigation tool that is used for precisely the right size hole to put this piece in. Let me show you how that works. Now all we need to do is attach a dripper. Always connect the barbed end into the line and leave the straight end out, which is where the water is going to come out of. So we've got all of our drippers in, and now we're ready to turn our water on. This timer that comes from DIG is very easy to set up. You have two options here, run time and interval time. The run time is going to be in minutes, how many minutes you want your irrigation to run for. I just turned it on to 5 here. And then interval is how often you want it to run. Every 6 hours, every 12 hours, every 2 days, every 4 days, and you adjust that right here. Okay, so now that you've seen how easy it is to work with this product and to set it up for your needs, I wanted to show you how I've used it in my home garden here. I've got a 12 by 24 horseshoe-shaped garden. We're in the corner of it right now, where you can see that half-inch line that we worked with out front, plugging in to our 1/4-inch spaghetti tube that's going to my various drippers. And I have these scattered around here based on the needs of the plants that I have planted. So what we have here is my cucumber plant that I have an adjustable dripper set on. And I can crank this one down or up and really fine tune how much water I want to give that plant. I have found in my experience that these guys like a good bit of water. So I open this one up, so it's going to be pumping out probably more about 10 gallons per hour. But if I ever think it's getting too much, I can actually twist this and slow that down and get fine-tuned to the amount of water that I want to use for that plant. We're right next to a watermelon plant that I have right here. And I've got a 5 gallon per hour dripper here coming off of my main line. And you can see the water trickling out of that is soaking just the ground right here. That's going to create moisture in this entire area right here that watermelon can use. The important fact here is the water is not going on the leaves. Too much water staying on the foliage of your plants can lead to problems with disease, which is going to slow down the growth of your plant, lead to a much lower harvest for you, a lower yield. So that is the main benefit of this system. You're going to have healthier plants that have the water when they need it and can use that water right away. One other thing I wanted to show you was just the versatility of this system. So we're in my backyard right now, and this is my 1/2-inch feed line that is going over to my garden. And I left a little stub up here. When we go on vacation, I can add to this and run a 1/4-inch line up to my containers up on the porch. So I know when I'm away that they're still getting the water that they need, and when I come back, my plants are still going to be healthy and thriving. Stop into any one of our 7 locations at Stauffers of Kissel Hill Home and Garden stores and ask for a DIG expert, and they'll be able to set you up with all the DIG irrigation information that you need. A new benefit I've just discovered with this drip irrigation system: when your dog's thirsty, he can sneak in and get a drink whenever he wants.